welcome. If you're new to the channel, be sure to like and subscribe. And without further ado, let's get into it.
Is it true that you put a smartphone in the car and you press the record button and just threw it back in there?
No.
Okay, blatantly.
Yes, she's making that up. Okay. Man, I don't know how to answer this, honestly. I don't know how to answer.
So she's not lying. There was a phone in the car.
But honestly, yes. If it sounds crazy, then man, whatever.
Why did we know in 2 minutes what it took y'all 2 to 3 weeks to figure out? Aaron the plumber.
So what happened?
So we were right, and it only got worse from there. I mean, Aaron the plumber, if you don't remember, was on the balloon pop thing, and then afterwards claimed that a bunch of people called his job and got him fired. Turns out he can't prove that that ever happened. Most people don't even know where he works, so they don't even know where to call to get him fired. He even claimed that there was 500 plus calls. Nobody's been able to really find his job properly. So the idea that the internet found it, it's never leaked so far. And so there's been a lot of cast on that because he's been using that to promote his GoFundMe to get $15,000 to do humanitarian work. Truth is, he doesn't really have much of a track record doing any of that kind of stuff. So where is this all coming from? And then there was a post that came out that showed that he got mad because the GoFundMe got locked. And underneath the post, you know what it said?
What?
How they gonna hold my money? It's my birthday. Let me have a good time.
No.
Dead ass.
No.
Dead ass, he posted that. So he was gonna use the GoFundMe for his birthday. So when we saw this goofy ass asking for, money, even though he got 100K in the bank.
Okay. But one thing about me, I could pull 100,000 on the bank. Can you do the same?
And he was out here spending it in the club like a goofy. Turns out, he wanted to use the GoFundMe for his birthday to be able to spend it like an idiot.
No, you're lying.
But it goes even worse because people are like, why are you bringing up his criminal history? But that's in the past. First off, I do think it's okay to judge people on their criminal history. That doesn't mean it's a final judgment, but I definitely think it factors in, especially if it's over a lengthy period of time. It shows me a lot of impulsivity. It shows me a lot of lack of control over yourself. And it gets me things to be like big red flag. He's already been found guilty of pandering, which is pimping in 2017, but racketeering essentially is the call. Charged with sex trafficking, all kinds of stuff. So this is, 5-6 years ago? Quick little update. Queen of Accountability, the YouTuber who did a live stream with 4 of his exes and did a deep dive research on this guy. If you watch a live stream, it's pretty intense. There's accusations of rape, stalking, beatings, harassment, and they provide a lot of receipts. They provide police reports, they provide text messages, logs, all these different things that really solidify that this guy hasn't changed at all. He's still the same career criminal that he's always been. And I know some people try to accuse these women of clout chasing, but you have to understand, these women have been filing reports to the police over a year ago. How could they be clout chasing when this guy had never even done the show at the time and it was known to nobody? There's no clout to be gained. If you guys read the message, you can see that he's trying to get her to respond to him and she's refusing. And after she doesn't respond to him for a while, what does he do? He makes a very peculiar threat. He says, I'm gonna call FedEx every day and I'm gonna get you fired. Isn't this the very thing that he claims was done to him? Think about how twisted that is. You victimize someone in a very peculiar manner. Then you use that peculiar manner that you victimize in to make your own victim narrative. And you want to get sympathy for it. The reason why this gets more intense is that a lot of the behaviors that he showed towards these women, he's now showing towards this YouTuber Queen of Accountability. What am I talking about? This guy had a pattern with all the women he dated. He would love bomb them. Within 3 to 4 weeks, he loved them.
For me, you talk about falling in love, but it was only a month, it sounded like 6 weeks.
Yeah, that's it.
You fall in love quick and hard, my G. Fall hard.
I do. That's my problem every time.
He needed to be around them all the time. They need to stay around him, and if he didn't get his way, the text messages went south very quickly and very aggressively. When he didn't get his way, he would call their jobs, he would harass them, he would file threats against them from a bunch of different anonymous numbers. And you could tell it too is him because the grammar's really bad in all the text messages, and there's a lot of repeated lines that seem very consistent.
You better bring it back and I won't press charges.
Threats against them from a bunch of different anonymous numbers. And you could tell it too is him because the grammar's really bad in all the text messages, and there's a lot of repeated lines that seem very consistent. And now the Queen of Accountability is also being called from every direction possible and having herself being doxxed essentially through this process. He pretends like he's somebody else in all these text messages, but he kind of lets it slip that it's actually him, Aaron the Plumber, because he goes, I'm gonna take legal action if you don't issue a formal apology. Are you gonna sue on behalf of somebody else? And it's so crazy to me how many random dudes online want to run and go to bat for this dude, when everything in his history and the way he acts says he's a big ass pookie. He's the exact kind of man that women, you would criticize them for dating. If a woman chose this guy and dated him and then bad things happen, you'd be like, why don't you choose better? Why did you choose a pookie? And now you getting mad at these same ladies for picking up the...
Alright, so for those of you who aren't familiar with the dirty section of YouTube, where you have some of the red pill content and some of the racialized content, they use the name Pookie and Ray Ray to describe men that women shouldn't date, even though no one's had the name Ray Ray since the 80s, and every now and then you'll have a Pookie, but Pookie where I'm from is like the coolest guy in the neighborhood, so yeah, that goes. But whatever, let the nerds have their fun.
The fact that he was a Pookie right away and trying to stay away from his ass. We picked up on it. I have never on this show ever looked at a man's behavior and been like, this is probably the kind of guy who beats women behind closed doors. Ever. Go look through the logs. Go find it. You won't find it. What is it about the way that he was behaving that you guys were so ready to endorse and say it's nothing wrong with it, it's actually fantastic, that we all looked at and be like, no, this dude is off his kilter and it's very likely that he'd be doing physical things to ladies behind closed door or other weird things? Where were your blind spots? And this also goes for mediocre tutorials and reviews. Where were your blind spots? Why were you not able to see what we see within 2 seconds? That's a question that you guys are gonna have to ask yourselves, because while you guys...
And a lot of you guys were able to relate to Aaron because you can't handle rejection either. So you thought he was funny. You thought it was amusing what he was saying to those women who didn't even get fly with him, It is what it is.
You guys are endorsing this man and giving him the A-OK and calling him some kind of war hero. Behind closed door, dude was one of the worst predators. The dude admitted to stalking his ex.
Is it true that you put a smartphone in the car and you press the record button and just threw it back in there?
No.
Okay,
She's making
blatantly.
that
She's just making that up. At a book in there.
Yes, she's making that up. Okay.
Come on.
Yeah, I can't believe people actually sat there for 5 hours and watched that shit.
Let's talk about it.
Watch that man lie, recant, and backtrack for 5 hours. You got patience.
I'm trying to see how I can answer this.
I'm trying to see how I can lie.
I did. I had a phone. Man, I don't know how to answer this, honestly. I don't know how to answer this. But no, I didn't put no smartphone. I did have another iPhone that was in her car. I have 2 phones, okay?
Aaron.
No,
I got 2 phones, one for the hoe and one for the hoe.
Let me break it down to you. I had 2 phones. One phone I do plumbing with, right? The other phone is my personal phone. I did leave the phone. I'm trying to answer this without sounding like a creep. So I'm trying to choose my words carefully,
I did need, like, I got 2, like, I got the, it's just, have you ever, like, if ever, did you ever have, like, if you ever have ever, like, have 2 phones that you phone with?
Carefully, because they're gonna crucify me. So don't think nothing. But I had another phone. Okay, I did plumbing services with this phone. The location was on this phone. Now I'm in and out of her car all the time. I did know that the location was on the phone. Yeah.
Okay, I'm not gonna keep playing it. This dude lying through his teeth. This scammer, okay, this career criminal, this trafficker, that's what he's about. Let's be clear. This is the man you guys are defending. And it doesn't even end there. The dude tried to do revenge prawn against one of his exes when she wouldn't get back with him. So he was and these are, you can look at the messages. This is not hearsay. This is the dude y'all defending. All this to say, I don't want to go through everything he's done. Obviously, he's garbage. The real thing that's interesting to me is why were these men so fast to want to champion this guy when it was so obvious to so many other people that he was a giant pookie? You guys would champion a man who's likely going to harm more women in the future. You want to give him access to funds to be able to attract more women, want to give him more publicity to be able to have more opportunities, not realizing you guys are essentially enabling a predator. Stalks his ladies, threatens them when they want to leave, put hands on something. Like, okay, what you want me to say? What you want me to say? It's not even about taking a victory lap. Like, it's not even just the viewers. This is the creators. Like, MTR, I like the dude, but it was plainly obvious to everybody. Even the way you conducted the interviews, I'm gonna be honest, you were softballing it. When he was saying weird sus shit like this, like, to me, that's a big, big, huge red flag. What do you think about that?
I didn't understand the people defending it. Just if we go to the base of the video and what happened, it escalated very quickly. But the basis of the video was us watching a dating show, and if you look at the behavior on the dating show, I do not understand what you guys saw. Well, didn't see. Nah, he did nothing wrong. Like, what is the state of the world, or in what world do you live in that you saw nothing wrong in the interactions that you saw? Forget the rest. Forget the felon thing, the whatever. Forget all that. Just based on those interactions, you saw nothing wrong. Well, you got rejected from the ladies. That's why I see a problem that we have in society. Rejection is not inherently a bad thing. It's just a neutral thing.
It's actually a good thing sometimes.
You take it as disrespect. When you say, oh, he got rejected by the ladies, you automatically go to disrespect. No, the girls just said no because this and that and that. Well, you know what? If you feel that way, that's how you feel. Moving on. He felt some type of way. And I'm still standing on mine when he said, you definitely made me. That was off. Right from the jump. And then you accumulate the rest of the things. At the basis of what we saw, you saw that and you saw nothing wrong. I'm sorry to say, that's a red flag on you. If you saw nothing wrong with the interaction that you saw there and you thought it was perfectly normal, there's something wrong with you. Forget the rest. Forget the baby mamas, the dramas, the running from the police, the going inside. Forget all that. If just based on the whole interaction that you saw nothing, you're like, yep, then there's something wrong with you too. I'm going on you guys.
Yep.
You guys got problems and you got to search within. Whether you believe it or not, that's on you, but you got problems. You're not supposed to talk with people like that.
I don't even think they think that's normal. I think most of them essentially just resent a lot of the, perceived privileges that women have. And so when they see this, they see some sense of justice. And so they're going to champion it, even if it is wrong. But essentially what they're championing is more of the same bad behavior that they're seeing on the opposite sex at times. And so they're just propagating the problem. It's not progress that they're doing. It's just they want their get back. They want their sense of revenge, right? That they what is the word? What happens when you're experiencing something through someone else? Do you know the word for that? Oh, vicariously. That's the word. They're vicariously through these people on these shows getting the justice that they don't have, they feel like, in their own personal life, or they see that's lacking in the world. That's essentially what it is. So that's why these kind of videos of like dudes putting women in their place is so exciting for these guys, and they love them and they get really excited, like, fuck yeah. Is because they feel a sense of injustice, and so they champion it. But in reality, you're not making.
Like I said, they can't handle rejection. Rejection is a beautiful thing sometimes. You might be dodging a bullet. I was in Soho on Houston. If you don't know what Soho is, it's south of Houston. NoHo is north of Houston. And I asked this lady in this purple blouse. I asked her out. And she said, no thank you. I'm pregnant. But thank you. She gave me a bow and the fucking hand, put her hands together and shit. That was better than getting a number. A lot of you guys probably wouldn't have been able to handle that. Well, tell you something funny. You probably said something stupid after that, You get what you get. based on who you are. That's why no one really wants to. That's why no chick comes out of her shell to holler at some of you. You know, I get flirted with all the time. I'm in Aldi's looking at plants. I don't have time enough to look up which ones have, you know, give off the most oxygen. Some chick sees me looking. She's like, you look like you want some plants. And, you know, and I'm like, oh, fuck. I gotta talk. You know, so shit like that happens all the time. You know? But you're gonna learn one day. You'll learn, you'll catch up. You'll get on my level someday.
Making the world a better place. Essentially, all you're really doing is just propagating more bad behavior. Even if it means championing a sex trafficker and a felon and a dude who does stalking and all these other bad behaviors. Like, you're gonna champion this right now, but I promise you're gonna stop championing it when it's one of the women in your lives, when it's your sister, your mother, your one of your exes, your daughter, whatever. You're gonna wish that you had done more to stop dudes like this from being everywhere and stop encouraging them. Because all you're doing is helping other ladies be victimized. That's essentially what it is. But you may not even care about that because maybe you feel so much resentment. You're like, they probably deserve it.
My girl, my sister could never, never bring someone like that. I mean, not me thinking, oh no, you don't. I don't see nothing wrong.
No,
hell no,
hell no. Why am I defending these pieces of shit?
And when you have evidence, you stay defending them.
And they want to say women are not logical.
You really want to,
but you recognize a lot of these dudes is also bitch made. They're also emotional. They're emotionally tied to this situation.
Yeah.
So I don't want to hear no more about women are the, you know, emotional sex. From the vast majority of behavior I've seen online, men are hyper emotional with vast majority of the things that they support, and it's not logical why they do it.
Everybody's emotional just for different things.
Yep. Yeah. It's like when Myron be screaming again. It's not anger. It's passion. Man, shut the fuck up. Y'all some goofies. Y'all support some goofies, and it just is what it is. But at the end of the day, why did we know in 2 minutes what it took y'all 2 to 3 weeks to figure out? What are y'all missing here? I'm just asking.
What do you guys think? I don't have a dog in the fight. I actually felt sorry for Son. You know, I thought he was just getting like way too much bad press for a dating show and just not being able to handle rejection. Because even though he publicly didn't handle rejection well, we've all heard people handle rejection worse. You know, at least he was passive aggressive and calling them queens about it. You know? But whatever. Like I said, I don't really have no feelings about shit I see on the internet like that. It's just it's just a distraction, honestly. You know, it's just something to do when I'm not doing yoga or when I'm not doing something productive. Sometimes it's fun to do stupid shit and look at stupid shit. I can't front. The algorithm usually shows you stuff you don't want to see, stuff that'll make you angry. So you gotta pick the most comical out of that selection. Help the algorithm help you. As far as MTR goes, I'll talk about that in another video. I'm gonna end this shit. So yeah, if you made it this far, leave a fucking fire emoji in the comment section. Have fun and keep your hands to yourself. Peace.